Morning, Sunday, September 7th, 2025. I'm Larissa. My video diary, my fat bitch video diary. Here I am. Time has come. Time has come. Drink some skulls. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, a little tired. A little bit, huh? Oh, my gosh, yesterday I made 120 pierogies. I did. I made them. They're in the freezer. Yeah. I did the potatoes super old school. Oh, yeah. I didn't use a mixer or nothing. I boiled them potatoes whole, and I peeled them while they were hot. Yeah. And then I mashed them with a fork with butter. Oh, my God. Yeah. Butter, salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, some parsley flakes. Yeah. And then I stuffed them pierogies with them. Yeah, and I had sauerkraut too. I sauerkraut. I should have squeezed it in a towel, but I didn't. I squeezed it like through some mesh. The first, and then when I went to go stuff the pierogies, it was still too wet, so I ended up squeezing it by hand. I ended up squeezing the sauerkraut by hand and stuffing them pierogies. Man, all them pierogies. Oh my God, my back hurt. My back hurt. My foot's hurt. I got them all. I got them all made. So today I'll be able to put them in the plastic bags because they're freezing. I put them in the freezer on cookie trays, so that they would freeze. And then when I want to cook them, I can just drop them in the boiling water. Made a bunch of them. Bunch of pierogies. Yeah, I did. So I don't know. Once I get them in bags, we'll see how much room's in the freezer. If I can make the halupki today, if there's room in the freezer for me to put the halupki in the freezer, I'll make the halupki today. Yeah. Oh my God. I don't know. I hope the cabbage is big enough. I haven't seen in a long time. So like my grandma, she used to grow her cabbages, right? She used to a lot of times she bought them at the store, but when I was a little girl, their garden, she always had, and whatever that varietal was, it was a really big head. Like they grew really big, right? Really big. Like the size of a bowling ball. Really big. But you don't see those very often in the store. And there's a varietal that's like really big like that, but kind of squat. That's like the best cabbage to use. Like if you can find those ones are the best ones. The leaves are so nice and big. So, but this cabbage, I should be able to get like, I don't know, 8 to 10 good size halupkis, because of the size of the leaves. And then a bunch of small ones, a bunch of little ones. Yeah. Yeah. So I got the ground meat. I gotta make the rice. The rice. Yeah. So what's in them? There's ground beef and rice and egg and onion and garlic and paprika and thyme and sage, black pepper. That's about it. That's what's in it. Yeah, that's what's in them. Yeah, roll them up. You put them in a tray, and you pour the tomato over it, canned tomato. Oh, sometimes my grandma would put in like a can of tomato soup, and then like a can of diced tomatoes or whatever. I'm not gonna use tomato soup. No, I'm gonna use diced tomatoes and probably some onions and garlic. You know, she put some, she put some seasoning in with it too. But then you bake them in that. You bake them in that till they're cooked all the way through. Yeah, you par cook the rice. You par cook the rice, and then you mix that with the ground beef and everything. Yeah, and that's how you stuff stuff your cabbage leaves. You gotta steam the cabbage leaves. I don't have a microwave, so I'm gonna have to steam them. I don't like microwaving anyway. Yeah. Oh, you just put it like in a double boiler, but one's like I have a steamer. I'll use the steamer. Dog hair stuck to my lip gloss, my lip balm. Anyway, I'll put it in the steamer that I use, like when I make um, tamales. I have a steamer. I use that to steam the cabbage, and then you peel off the leaves as they soften. Core the cabbage, put it down in the steamer, core side down, so it steams up inside of the cabbage, and then as the leaves steam, you peel them off, and then you roll them. You stuff them and you roll them. You line them in your pan. Yeah. Yeah, I'll make those. And I'll bake them. And I'll put them in the freezer. And I'll just have to pop them back in the oven. Yeah. No, halupkis are fine that way. Yeah, and you make a ton of them. You can make a ton of them. And then they're just ready. Right. Yeah, so I'll make a tray of halupkis. And I'm going to make a bellish. I'm going to make it in my cast iron skillet. I'll bake it in my cast iron skillet so I can stuff it real good. I'm gonna make one big one and make them. I was thinking about making like small ones, but I'm gonna make one big one. I'm just gonna make one big one. That's how it's usually made anyway, right? Chopped up potatoes. I decided what I'm gonna do with those potatoes. I will put them in the air fryer. I'll cube them, put them in the air fryer and like par cook them. Yeah, and they'll have a little bit of crispy on the outside. And then I'm gonna start the ground beef as well. And then I'll mix those things together, the carrots that go in, and I'm gonna add some other, and I'm gonna put mushrooms in mine too. Chop up the mushrooms. Yeah, 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 yeah. And then I got stuff. I'm gonna do baked fish, and the baked fish is gonna be it's tilapia with squash and peppers and onion and garlic, and then I got corn on the cob to go with that. And you just roll those. You put all that stuff in foil with some salt and pepper and cilantro and some lime juice. You bake it till it's all done. Yeah. So that's that one. And then I'm gonna do stuffed tuna melt sandwiches on the last day. Oh, coming up this week, I got a crew of 4 guys here coming for the next 5 days to do work. A lot of work needs done here on the property. They're like the quarterly regular maintenance of the hedges and all that shit. I mean, this is way more than Omar and I could do by ourselves, right? Like way more work. Way more work, way more land here. And you know, it's high maintenance land too. It's not like, just it's very high maintenance. Right? It's not flat. It's not, just grass that you go out on a mower, right? Kind of thing. No, 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 no. Property here is extremely high maintenance. So we have a crew of 4 guys coming out, and we're probably gonna spend 2 days doing that, and then the last 3 days are gonna be done putting in a retaining wall. So I got stuff delivered yesterday. Oh my God. I said so many Hail Marys, a guy coming. I couldn't believe it. 4 yards, 4 yards, 4 yards of stone, right? 4 yards of drain rock to go to go in the post holes, right, for this retaining wall. Oh, it's a long story. Like I have it designed. I have everything. I gotta show them what I want done. They'll be able to do it. It's fine. I told them they just got to show up with. They got to bring their own post hole digger because they're not gonna be able to dig all those post holes by themselves. No, all the post holes that they need to dig, they're not gonna be able to do by hand in 3 days. No, sir. They better show up with a gas or electric one. And Omar finally put together our cement mixer that my dad got me for Christmas, like the first year we were here. He asked me, he said, what do you want for Christmas? I said, I want a cement mixer. He's like, really? I said, yeah. So he got me a cement mixer. I got the cement mixer. And we got the concrete. So 15 bags of concrete and 4 yards of stone. And they send out this big old massive fucking truck. And he's like, I don't know if I can get up your driveway. I'm like, oh, you can get up my driveway. I didn't know if you could get up my driveway, but I'm like, I need that shit. You're here. You're not gonna back down the street. You gotta either go up the other end of the road or you gotta come up my driveway. So 6 and 1, half a dozen the other. Let's have it. But I couldn't understand why they sent such a big ass truck. I guess it's because they wanted to just send out one truck and they couldn't put it in a dump truck and because they couldn't dump the bags of concrete. Anyway, he got that truck both ways over my bridge, and I was like, thank God. I prayed. I did. I said Hail Marys. I said Hail Marys and praise the baby Jesus. I was like, oh my God, please. Please, baby. Please, Jesus. Please, baby Jesus. Please. Yeah. But I was so angry. So, I mean, I wasn't like stomping around, but I was a little pissed. So they brought out these bins, right? They delivered the stone in bins so they were measured, right? Like measuring cups, big measuring cups for the stone. So like there's no arguing this is 4 yards of stone. Well, I ordered this time from a place that's different than where I have been for the past 6 years. There's a rock yard, the Rockery, in Scotts Valley that I've been ordering stone from for use on the property here for 6 years. And we order an average of like somewhere between 8 and 10 yards of stone a year for different use for things, right? And I usually order it in 4 to 6 yard increments. Anyway, what I had delivered yesterday was measured 4 yards of stone. Well, the very first time I ordered from this other company, right? The one I've been ordering from, the very first time I ordered 10 yards because there was a lot of work that needed done. And it didn't look like 10 yards to me. It looked light. And every time it looked light. And Omar, he's like, I don't know, 10 yards. He's like, I don't know what a yard of stone looks like, right? Like, he didn't know. Whatever. So the stone that was delivered yesterday, the 4 yards of stone that I know because it was measured, right? Visibly measured, 4 yards of stone, is what I have been paying as like 8 yards from this other place. So this other place has been ripping me off for 50% of the volume of stone I've been paying for 6 years. When I saw that, I was like, And I felt vindicated because they got shitty with me when I asked about it. Because the one time I'm down there, well, the guys that do the work aren't the guys that deliver the stone, right? They're not related. They're different businesses altogether. And the guy whose company it is, Manuel, who does the work out here, I said to him the one time, I said, Manuel, does this look, because one time it was 6 yards, it was supposed to be 6 yards, does this look like 6 yards of stone to you? And he's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe, yeah, I don't know. Like, he was very non-committal, right? And I'm like, he's like, it might be a little light. And, that's what he said. Might be a little light. I don't know. It's about right. I don't know. I said, this doesn't look like 6 yards to me. But I went down there and I'm like, hey, Manuel says it looks a little light too. And he says, well, you can tell Manuel, blah, 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 blah. This guy Noe. Well, I was a little, I've been skeptical, but I'm like, okay, whatever. But this last time I called down there, and it's like I've been ordering rock twice a year from this guy from Noe for 6 years. He fucking knows who I am, and he made this like game of like he kept on saying my name the wrong way, and like he didn't know who I was, pretend like he didn't know who I was and stuff. And I'm like, why are we playing this game? I've been ordering stone from you for like almost 7 years now. You know who I am. I'm one of your regular customers. There's no reason for you not. My name's not hard to say, right? I remember your name and I say your name. Why can't you talk to me, right? Like, so I decided I wasn't going to order from him because of that. I'm like, I'm going to try this other place. It's just down the street. It's just like down the street around the corner kind of thing. They have a bigger selection of stuff anyway. So I did. And he said next time, he said, as long as you just order in something to dump, we can bring a shorter truck. And I said, well, I kind of figured that might be the case. That's why, because I'd said that I'd pick up the concrete myself in my pickup truck and bring the concrete home myself. And they were like, oh, no, there's no reason we can do it. We can do it all in one thing. I'm like, I think it's going to be a problem. Now he sees why it's a problem. And I'm like, okay, well, don't be bringing that truck back up here again. Bring the smaller truck. And he's like, well, as long as it's just a dump, we can do that. I'm like, all right. They wanted the delivery fee is what it was. They wanted the extra $150 for the delivery fee for that truck. Everybody's like that. Whatever. Anyway, all the materials. I got 15 80-pound bags of concrete on a pallet in my shop, and I got 4 yards of drain rock, 3/4-inch drain rock out here in a pile, and I got a crew of 4 guys for the next 5 days, starting tomorrow. So that's why I'm making all this food, because I make them lunch when they come out here, because we're kind of like out here in the middle of nowhere. So I always make them lunch. Yeah. So that's what the menu is this week. So Monday is going to be pierogies with cucumber salad and sausages. And then Tuesday is going to be halupki and baked potato. And then Wednesday is going to be baked fish and corn on the cob. And then Thursday, Wednesday's going to be the bellish. Or maybe I'll do the fish on Wednesday. No, I'll do the bellish. Wednesday will be the bellish. The bellish with apples, and bellish, yeah. And there's I have little chocolate bars, little mini chocolate bars that for dessert. And I got granola bars for a couple of days. Yeah, so then we bellish and then apples, and then Thursday will be the fish and the corn on the cob, and then Friday will be the stuffed tuna melt sandwiches. So like I make these little, they're my homemade hot pockets, right? Like I make a batch of bread dough, and I roll the dough. I portion the dough into little like what you would do for buns, and then I roll them out, and then I stuff them, and then I bake them, and they're good. Yeah, they're good. It's like a hot sandwich, right? A hot stuffed sandwich. A little mini calzone, maybe kind of like a pierogi. These are all things that are similar. Yeah, pierogi is like the Russian stuffed bread, right? Except I don't make them that shape, right? And I don't fry them. The pierogies are fried. They're bread, not noodle. Like pierogies are noodle, and pierogi is a bread. And I think the bread's usually fried. These aren't fried. They're baked, and I pinch them up. Pinch them up close like Lebanese spinach pies. So they're kind of triangular shaped. Yeah. I put all kinds of stuff in them when I make them. So, yeah. Oh, the bellish is kind of a similar idea, right? Except it's a big round thing. The bellish is round. And when you serve it, you cut the top off so it's like a lid, right? So it's like a pot pie, right? But it's bread, not pastry. Yeah, so I'm gonna do it in my cast. I'm gonna bake mine in the cast iron skillet. Yeah, yeah. I'm probably gonna put peas in mine too. Anyway, that's what the menu is for the week. Yeah. Oh, Omar will be here on Monday and Friday, so he'll get to have pierogies and he'll get to have hot tuna melt. Yeah. But he says, don't make the stuff with the ground beef when I'm home. I'm like, okay. He's trying to stay away from ground beef. Well, I don't cook meat very often anyway, like, because I don't eat it, right? So, but I cook stuff for him occasionally. But he's like, he used to get a lot of sausages and then lunch meat, and he'd like, that's what he'd have. He'd make himself a sandwich for lunch or whatever. But he's trying to keep his cholesterol down, so he's staying away from the red meat. He's staying away from it. He's not eating it. And he doesn't eat chicken because he loves our chickens too much. Well, we're just down to 2 now. We just got 2 chickens, and we won't get any more chickens until these 2 chickens have passed, because these 2 chickens are both very territorial and they've been through a lot. And, we've had like 3 phases of chickens, and it has been hard. It has been hard. They don't, unless you have a really, really big flock where there's lots of choices of other birds for them to hang out with. Like, when you just have like, if you have under 10 birds, you have to get them all together, and they have to be, a clutch together. You know, like, they don't have to be from the same clutch, but they have to be the same age, and grow up together. Because introducing into a small group of birds, uh-uh, they don't have it. They're not having it. There's violence. So I don't know. Once these 2 birds have passed, I don't know if he's going to want to get birds again or not. He loves them. He loves them, but they're a lot of work, and they've been emotionally taxing. Although the eggs are kind of worth it, I think. And we eat a lot of eggs, so anyway, anyway. And then there's the novel. So I got 1 chapter written yesterday, and after like writing 3 chapters, writing 1 chapter, I felt like I was like hardly doing anything. But it was a heavy chapter, When I'm writing, I do my proofreading by reading out loud to Omar. So like, after I write a chapter or whatever, I read it to him, and then I fix any typos that I come across. That's the first round of proofreading, and that I do, you know, when I read to him, and I also get feedback, from him on what he thinks about the story. So he's really into this one. He's like, "Oh my God, I really like this one. This is the best one yet." So it is a pretty, it's a pretty hard hitting story, and it's fiction, of course, but it's like based on it's based on life experience, right? Like, it's not fantasy. So I was talking to him about what my goals are with my writing. It's like, I don't do photorealism in my visual art. Like, I just don't, I'm not into that, right? I can I do it? Yes, I can, right? I don't like to do it. I can do it. I don't like to do it, right? It's not my aesthetic for visual art. I kind of feel like, well, if I'm going to do photorealism in that way with visual art, I might as well just take pictures, right? Might as well. Might as well, right? So I'm not like that. But when it comes to my fiction writing, I like to be a photorealist, right? That's how I describe it. That's what my goal is. Whether I'm successful or not is, up to the reader to truly decide. Um, but that's what my goal is. And of all of the novels I've written and the short stories, um, I think this might be the most realistic. Like, I mean, they're none of them are fantasy, right? But this one, there's something about this one There's something about this one. And I also was telling Elmar, it's like, none of the women that are in this story are me. This is not, this isn't my story, right? But as far as like relating to these women, all of the women that are in the story, it's an extremely autobiographical piece, right? But it's not my autobiography. It's not my story. Right? Oh, so we'll see. Maybe I'll get another chapter or two written today. I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen next? What happened yesterday? Omar was like, whoa. After I was finished, he goes, that's what he did. He went, whoa. So I don't know. I don't know. I had an idea of how I thought the book was going to end and what I was working towards, right? I don't think that's what it's going to be, though. I woke up this morning. I was like, oh, I think I know what's going to happen. And it's not what I thought to begin with. Yeah. The other thing that he says a lot of times, like when I'm done reading, when I'm done with my books, when we get to the end and he hears what the ending of the story is, I don't write happy endings, right? Like, it's not like, oh, and they ran right off into the sunset and live happily ever after. No. But, sometimes that happens in real life. Sometimes, but not usually, right? So the endings of my books sometimes feel like, ugh, so hoping that that was going to work out, kind of thing, and he makes comments about that all the time. He's like, oh, bummer. Yeah, I'm sorry, bum you out at the end of my book. It's the way it goes. Yeah. I always end my books with the end. Anyway. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, so far there's only, it's interesting, like, as far as like um male characters that you actually see interaction with, right? Have dialogue. There's two, but there are thousands of other men that are implied as character in this book. But as far as like the dialogue and the interaction and internal dialogue, like thoughts and things, it's all women. Yeah, yeah. There's none of the chapters, and none of the chapters are going to. I don't think. I don't know. There might be one exception. I don't know, but none of the chapters start with, you know, from the perspective of either of the two male characters. And that's a marked difference from my other novels, because my other novels, I try to be fair and representing perspective from the characters. But this is like like I said from the beginning, this novel is a women's story, and because of that, I think I might keep it from women's perspective. Anyway, 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 that's the way it goes. So while I'm doing all this cooking, food prep and cooking and stuff, what are Omar and I eating? I made a big pot of soup on Friday. Yeah, white bean and mustard green soup. White bean and mustard green soup has a little bit of rice in it. And so we have soup in the fridge, and then I made some stuffed sandwiches. They're like, the ones that I made on Friday were like calzone. So I had tomato sauce, a spicy tomato pepper sauce, and ricotta, and mushrooms and spinach. So it's like a kind of like, they're like calzones, so that's what I have in the fridge. And yesterday morning I made blackberry and strawberry pancakes. It was just a mixture of blackberry and strawberries I cut up. I made pancakes. And I got one big pancake left in the refrigerator. Probably toast that up for breakfast and make a fried egg to go with it. Reheat that, Reheat that pancake, cut it in half, because it's a big one. It was like the size of the skillet. Toast it, and then have a couple eggs. I'm dehydrating a melon. I got this melon. It smelled so good. I got it for the opening at the gallery, but nobody came in, so I didn't cut it open. I'm like, I'm not cutting open a melon. Let's sit here. Nobody's coming in. So I brought the melon home, and I cleaned it. Brody loves melon. Oh my God, it's so funny. He's so funny. He loves melon. As soon as he heard, because he saw me bring it in, and he stuck his, he was like, he loves it. He loves melons. Watermelon included. Yeah, Brody loves melon. But when I cut it yesterday morning, I stuck the knife in it. It makes that noise because it's super ripe. It was like, and he came in and he like looked at me. He like glared at me. He's like, "You better give me a piece. You cannot be cutting a melon and not giving me a piece." And he like stood there and stared me down until I gave him his own slice. Well, when he has something that he really, really loves, he shares it with Pooh Bear. He's got his Pooh Bear, which Pooh Bear's his first, his first baby, his oldest friend, right? He never tears apart Pooh Bear. He only snuggles with Pooh Bear, and he shares the other toys. He might have other babies that he tears apart, and he'll when he does that, he'll pull out all the fluff, and he positions the fluff, arranges it around Pooh Bear. Pooh Bear lays on his cushion down there, and then he snuggles with Pooh Bear. Oh my gosh, yes. He shared his melon with Pooh Bear yesterday. He took the melon and he bit off a piece and sat it next to Pooh Bear. I am not even making this up. He's so funny. He's so funny. He does the same thing with celery. Like if I give him a chunk of celery, he'll sit and chew on it, and then he'll go sit it with Pooh Bear. With other weird things he likes. Oh, he likes cabbage. And give him the core out of the cabbage, and he'll take that over and he'll chew on it and share it with Pooh Bear. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's what he does. That's what he does. My silly dog. My silly dog. Yeah. So today I need to clean off the picnic tables down there for the guys. I need to go down there and wipe everything down and wipe any bird poop off of the seats and all that stuff. Because it's under a big old oak tree. And there's tons of birds that live up in that tree. So I gotta make sure all the bird poop's cleaned off. I wouldn't want to eat off a table that's covered in bird poop. Would you? No. I gotta go clean off the bird poop and pick up any Brody poop that might be up there. Because who wants to eat around poop? Nobody wants to eat around poop. Yuck. And possibly make those halupkis and write another chapter. And I need to fold some towels. They're down there in the dryer. They're in the dryer. They just need to be brought up so I can fold them. Because I have washcloths and hand towels in the bathroom, but I don't have any big towels. No, I need to fold them. So let me get some laundry done today. Oh, I'd like to stop over at the gallery too. I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. We'll see. Maybe I'll just send Mr. Darug over there to do that. Mr. Darug, go over to the gallery. Although, I think I need to do it myself. Maybe I'll do that first thing after we have breakfast. Get it out of the way. I don't need to be over there long. Just a couple minutes for what I got to do. I got to change my sign. I got to change the message on my sign. And I want to pick up some magazines. That won't take long. It'll take me like, 20 minutes? Maybe. Once I get over there. Oh my God. Anyway.